could only be one winner. The 2025 Ultimate Elvis Tribute Artist Champion, Jimmy Holmes!
So here we are, 2 weeks later, 2 weeks after Elvis Week, 2 weeks after winning the Ultimate Elvis Tribute Artist competition for 2025. It's slowly sinking in, over time. It still really feels like a dream come true, and I'm so honored. And I'm so glad I was able to take you guys along. Here we go. We are heading to the venue for the semifinals of the contest tonight. Doing 2 songs. Everybody's doing 2 songs, doing Hurt and Rags to Riches. So 2 power songs, 2 songs that can really show off the vocals, and 2 songs that I'm really happy about getting. And so we have to get there about 2 hours early. They want us there, and the contest starts at 7 o'clock, so I'm number 13 in the order, and I'm very excited. Not stressed, not nervous, just excited. And can't wait to get on stage and get things going, and hopefully can make the finals, make the top 10. But stay tuned and you'll see. For my first 2 songs, I got Hurt, which was my number 3 on my list, and then I got Rags to Riches, which was way down on my list, but still a good song. I love it. And 2 good vocal songs too. So 2 songs that I can show off the vocals, make an impression on the audience, on the judges, and show them that, I can sing pretty well, and hopefully sound like Elvis a little bit, But, so going into that first round, your mindset is, you want to come out and you want to make that first impression. You don't want to wait till the end to show the audience and the judges what you can do. You want that from the moment you step out there. So the first song I did was Hurt. And went out there and I wore the snowflake jumpsuit, which is it could be my favorite jumpsuit Elvis ever wore. It's absolutely beautiful. And so I went out there and did Hurt, and honestly, it felt like one of the best times I ever performed it, or the best time I performed it. Everything just felt great. The band was great. I locked in with them, and the audience reaction and energy was just on another level. And that means a lot to us on the stage. We kind of feed off that, and it makes us, take the performance to an even bigger space, and so that's what it was on that song for me. The audience reaction was incredible, and I really felt like I came out and I really gave it my all on that first performance and made a good impression on not only the audience but the judges as well. And so, after that song, I was very, very happy. And of course, everyone else went, and everyone else did a fantastic job. I was watching and listening to a lot of the guys. There was a TV screen backstage, so we could watch the other performers. And let me tell you, man, everyone who was in that contest brought their A game. And so you do one song, you go backstage, and then you change outfits. If you do different eras, you can do a 70s song and then a 50s song, But so you go backstage, and you go back through the order again and do one more song. So my second song was Rags to Riches, which it's not a super well-known Elvis song, but it's still a very, very powerful and vocally impressive song, which is, what I was hoping for. Of course, I would have wanted a Polk Salad Annie or a You've Lost That Lovin' Feeling or something to pair with Hurt, which is a very power vocal song. But, sometimes the luck of the draw isn't with you for these songs. So go out and do Rags to Riches and feel great about the performance. I wore the white pinwheel suit for that. And, once again, felt great with the band. Audience reaction was awesome. Just felt like I locked in and connected well with the audience, with the judges, with the band, and everybody. And so, done with the second song. Once again, everybody goes and everybody does great. And and I'm like, man, it's going to be really, really tough to cut 10 guys out of this. There's going to be some guys who don't make the cut, who still do a fantastic job, because the field of guys this year was just that solid. It was fantastic, And so everybody goes through, and they bring us up for the top 10 announcement. And I'm thinking, okay, I think I did well enough to not be number 11. At least be number 10. And so they bring up the envelope with the names of the guys who made the top 10, and they start reading them off. And you never expect yourself to be first called or second called, because just the chances you're probably not going to. So they start. Dean Z, he's a host. He starts reading off all the names.
Our top 10, moving on to the finals. 2025 Ultimate Elvis Trivia Contest. Please step forward. Ted Torres, Al Jocelyn, Aaron Walker, step forward, Sylvain Leduc, Jack Gallo.
And 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 guys down. And get to number 5. And so I'm like, okay, I could hear my name anytime now and be happy with it, but keep naming guys off. And gets to about 7.
Lane Cruz, Louis Brown, 3 remaining slots.
It's like, okay, come on, I want to hear it. And then it gets to number 8.
Moses Snyder. Our 9th finalist, Bruno Michel.
and 9, and they still haven't heard my name. There's one guy left to be called. They're on number 10 of the top 10. And, obviously inside I'm freaking out. On the outside I'm trying to keep it cool and stuff, but, on the inside it's like, woof. There's one more guy left, and there was a few guys still with me who, I thought did a good enough job to get in. So at that point, it's like, I don't know. I'm always confident that, I did well and stuff, but it's like, I don't know who it's going to be. And so, the nerves were definitely rising inside of me, and I'm sure inside of all the people who came out to Memphis to support me. And but luckily, number 10, after it was drawn out for about 3 minutes, it was the longest 3 minutes of my life, felt like. They really drew it out, and after 3 minutes of waiting, they announced Jimmy Holmes as number 10 to go through.
And rounding out the top 10. Everybody up on the stage deserves it, but there can only be one. Rounding out the 10th finalists. Step forward, Jimmy Holmes! There's your top 10. Make some noise for everybody on the stage.
Just a huge sigh of relief. Just wow. It was a stressful start to the week, and we didn't even get to the we're not even in the finals yet. That was the first round, and so man, that was a crazy feeling there. Just relief to have made it through to the top 10, to live another day. Well, I made the top 10 in the announcement. They announced me in the last spot, number 10. And so that was stressful, of course. I was very nervous because, I kept hearing a lot of other guys' names, and you start getting down to the last few, and you're just waiting for you. So to be called last was a bit nerve-wracking, but we're in. I got 2 great songs, Suspicious Minds and How Great Thou Art. I couldn't have asked for better songs. They were my top 2 songs on my list. And we go tomorrow night and try and make the top 5. I feel confident. I feel great. And can't wait to get back on stage tomorrow. But tonight, I'm ready for bed. My top 2 songs for my top 10 list was Suspicious Minds and How Great Thou Art. Those were the songs I wanted, for top 10. At least just one of them is what I wanted. And somehow, by some good juju and good luck somewhere, I got Suspicious Minds and How Great Thou Art for the top 10. And it happened because someone else had already done How Great Thou Art, and they got it again, and they didn't want to repeat it. So they passed on it, and it fell to me. And when that happened, and when I got those 2 songs, it almost felt like a sign from the universe or from God or from whoever that, okay, you're set up now. These are the songs you couldn't have asked for any better songs. These are the 2 that you wanted. You have them now. And that's when I felt like, okay, I feel like I'm in a good position to set myself up to win this, because those 2 songs are some of the top 2 songs I'm most confident in out of any, especially for a contest. And so when I got those songs, it was like, okay, you got to take care of business now. Now you got to go out there and perform these songs to the best of your abilities, almost perfectly. You know, not everything's ever going to be exactly perfect, but go out there and you got to nail them, you know, because it's falling into place for you, kind of. And and so, you know, I try and get some good sleep that night, but it's, you know, it's always hard because, you know, I just kept thinking, like, tomorrow is going to be a big day, no matter what happens. You know, something big is gonna happen, and so I tried to sleep. I probably slept for about five hours actually, which is pretty good. I went to bed about 1 a.m. I woke up at 6. You know how you wake up and roll over and go back to sleep. Well, I woke up, went to roll over, and then my mind remembered that, oh yeah, today is the finals. So of course I couldn't fall back asleep then. So, you know, you're just thinking about things, thinking about how you want to nail the performance, everything to go as well as you can, as well as it can. And so now you're in the finals day. We have a judges interview at 9 a.m. It's time to meet with the judges, and we didn't get to bed till like 1 a.m. last night, so it's an early morning, but it has to look decent, so we'll see how it goes. Alright, see ya. So go and do that, talk with the judges. Everybody in the top 10 does it. You get about 5 minutes, you talk with them, and they kind of get to know you a little bit more. The interview doesn't mean everything. Some people say it does, but it means a lot. You know, you want to connect with these people on a personal level so that they know you and they like you, you know? And so if you're given that opportunity, which everyone in the top 10 is, you got to make the most of it. And I feel like my interview went very well. And so now we're going into the top 10, into the finals. And, you know, let me tell you, the vibe kind of ramps up, you know, tenses up too, it gets more intense. The guys give it their all in their performances even more. You know, they're putting everything out there because it's the finals. You know, you've worked all year to get here, and, you know, it's time to give it everything you got, leave it all on the stage, and you know, do your best tribute to Elvis Presley. That's what we're here for. This is the moment now. And I was 10th to go, so I had a long time to wait. You know, all the other guys were performing, and everyone was doing great. Everyone was bringing it, and you could tell that there were a lot of guys who really wanted it. You know, you could see through their performances. You know, I was very, very impressed with a lot of these guys. I go on last, and I do How Great Thou Art first, and then Suspicious Minds. And, you know, on How Great Thou Art, I really try, because Elvis loved gospel music so much, to get that emotion that he had when he sang those gospel songs. Try and get that emotion and make the audience feel that. Because it's all about making the audience feel something. You know, if they feel like what is going on stage reminds them of Elvis, that is everything. You know, it's that whole illusion, putting it all together. And, you know, so I try and get that emotion down for How Great Thou Art and sing it, and it felt great. You know, went extremely well. My voice felt amazing, you know, hit all the notes. Felt like I really connected again with the audience. And so, you know, do How Great Thou Art. These 2 songs are back to back, so you do 2 at a time. Do How Great Thou Art, go right into Suspicious Minds, you know, while the crowd is still still on that high from How Great Thou Art. Then they hear Suspicious Minds, boom, then it's party time. You know what I mean? Like, they're having fun now. They're, some of them are dancing, clapping, all of that stuff. So it's like, okay, I have that good vibe with the audience. The EAS band's fantastic. I played with them countless times, so I'm in with them. Now it's about giving the audience a show with Suspicious Minds, just trying to recreate that feeling that Elvis brought with that song, and nobody's gonna ever be Elvis again, but Elvis was so dynamic. He was guiding the band, he was having fun with the audience, smiling all the time, and so I was like, man, I'm gonna put all of that in this performance and just have fun. Have fun. You're here, you're in Memphis, you're in the top 10, you got the 2 songs you could have, if you would have dreamed these 2 songs, you got them, and you're on stage performing now, Suspicious Minds. And it was so fun on the stage. There was no nerves for that song. There was nothing. I was just up there grooving with the band, vibing with the crowd. It was cool. It really was. And I felt like that performance couldn't have gone better. That top 10 performance was just as close to perfect as I could have ever dreamed of. And we do Suspicious Minds, you're going through everything, end the song, and boom, the audience reaction is just huge, and I felt like everyone was behind me, and I felt that energy, I just felt it in the room, and I couldn't have been happier, and I gave everything in that performance, man, and I got off stage and my legs were tired and I was out of breath, but I was so happy with how things went because I couldn't have asked for it to go better so far. And at that point, man, I wasn't even nervous about making top 5. I knew I didn't know, but I was so confident I was going to make it through. And then it was just about what we get in the top 5. And they announced top 5, and I do get through. I was the 4th one called, so number 4 in the lineup. So now we do one more song, and this song here gets added on to your top 10 score, which is why, again, I was very happy with my top 10 songs, because when you're going into the finals here, the top 5, you don't want to be necessarily 5th. Like, yeah, you're in the top 5, but then it's going to be hard to get up there into the placing and into winning. So when you go into the top 5, you really want to be in a good position. At least up there in the top 3, and then whatever happens after that. But it's important to be in a good position after that top 10 because this top 5 round is added on. So we go backstage to pick songs. And this one you pick. It's not in any list. They just ask you, what song do you want to sing? And you tell them. And it all happens really fast. So you got to have a song in your head, and then you had to have at least 1 or 2 backups, because if your song gets taken. And so going into it, I had in my mind, I had the songs My Way, Bridge Over Troubled Water, and Polk Salad Annie. So I hadn't done any of those songs so far. And those are some of my favorite songs to perform, especially in a competition. My Way and Bridge because of the powerful lyrics and vocals. Polk Salad Annie because of, all the movement and the excitement about it. Really gets the crowd going. And I wanted to do My Way. That's how I wanted to do it. But in my mind, I was like, man, Bridge Over Troubled Water, that's a little more, I don't know, a little more intense, a little more powerful, more. Just, and that's just me overthinking things. Because in my gut, I wanted to go with My Way. But I was like, man, I don't know if My Way's enough, To an Elvis fan, they love that song because the lyrics, that's my favorite Elvis song ever. and the lyrics really encapsulate Elvis's life, because he always did things his way. And that's why it's so powerful to me. But Bridge Over Troubled Water, the music's a little more powerful, and there's more dynamics in the song. My Way, it's a little more softer vocals and more of just really listening to those words. And so I was like, okay, you know what? I think I'm gonna go for Bridge first if it's there. And so we go back and we choose songs in the order we're called again. So I'm fourth, and the first song taken is Bridge Over Troubled Water. So it's like, okay, that's gone. This could be a sign here that My Way is the right way to go. So it ended up getting to me. My Way was still on the table. I had the Aloha suit with me. Just got it cleaned. Just got all the studs and stones refurbished, restored, and they look amazing. I wanted to wear that suit. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do My Way. It's my favorite Elvis song ever. And I'm here in the top 5 of the Ultimate Elvis Tribute Artist Competition. Why would I not do my favorite song ever? They announced my name to go up and perform. I walk up the stairs, the intro of My Way's playing, and I got on stage, and all those feelings I was feeling, that pressure, those nerves, everything, it was gone. It was like when I got on that stage, I just felt such a sense of calm. I started singing, and the performance just flowed like it was nothing, like I had no pressure, like I was performing this song. And throughout that performance was when I started feeling something special. Because of how calm and how easy it was, I felt like I could sing the words and really connect with the audience and make them feel this song that I was singing. Make them remember those memories of watching Elvis sing it in Aloha or in the CBS special. And bring back those memories and make them feel what this song really meant. And the performance couldn't have gone better. And I just felt such a great connection with the audience, and their support to me was incredible. And it got to the last part of the song, you know, when it builds up, for what is a man, all of that stuff. When that started going, man, I had this incredible moment where I was like, this feels like it's my year. It feels like it's gonna happen. And you know, I hit the last note on My Way, holding it out, and you know, band's playing, the audience is applauding, and I was watching the video, and you can see I'm hitting that last note, and at the end, a smile comes on my face as I pull the microphone away to end it. And that was a smile of relief, kind of relief, and just being so proud of myself for performing that song in that moment as well as I did. And with the reaction I got from the audience, when I cut off the band, I felt in that moment, even though I didn't know what the results were going to be, I felt in that moment like I had won. It was just an amazing feeling because I knew everyone was proud of me, no matter what happened. Because, you know, I came back and I did everything I could. And now it's out of my control. But I know everyone was so proud of me no matter what happens, because I did it the way I wanted to do it. And, you know, it felt really special. So they bring us on stage to announce. And, you know, they're talking about the gold belt and they're showing us it, and it's like right in front of us because everyone wants it, you know. and they're showing us a gold belt and talking about what winning means and all of that stuff. And Dean and Pat and Cody Danath was there too this year, doing some hosting, and everyone does a great job of really building the moment up to meet how big it actually is, because it's a really big deal. And, everyone at EPE does a great job of making everyone feel how big this moment is. They drag it out, they make it intense, and it's really, when you're a contestant, it's stressful, but, I know why they do it, because winning this is the biggest accomplishments that an Elvis tribute artist can make. And so they bring the envelope out, and they hand it to Dean, and he opens it up. He's going to announce third place, second place, first place. And, I was telling myself, I was like, okay, just be prepared to hear your name at third.
Of this year's Ultimate, please step forward, Moses Snow.
A little bit of a sigh of relief. I'll go to second place now. I'm telling myself the same thing too. Be prepared. It's second place. If you get second place, that's better than last year. You got third last year. Move up to second. It's still amazing.
Lewis Brown.
And they announced second place. After that, you can see in the video, if any of you guys watched it, that I closed my eyes because
There could only be one winner.
I didn't know that I was going to win,
The 2025
but I had a really, really,
Elvis Tribute
really
Artist
good
champion,
feeling.
Jimmy Holmes.
It's still that feeling after it happened was like a weight lifting off my shoulders. A mix of relief, excitement, kind of disbelief that it's happened, it's here. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Everyone says stuff feels like a dream come true, but that, seriously, it felt like that. And it's hard to describe, but it was an incredible moment. And to get this gold belt here from a really good friend of mine, Emilio Santoro, last year's champion, and to get the check handed to me by another really good friend of mine, Cody Danath, it was really, really cool. It was amazing. To have my parents there, my in-laws there, Kaylin, my wife, the support that I had from people this year was beyond anything I could ever ask for. Ryan Pelton at the Branson Elvis Festival, he was talking with me all night long via text, just encouraging me, and that's what I lean on that whole week to get through that. Because the ultimate, to me, it's like climbing a mountain to get up to the top. Because you have to qualify for it, then you have to get the right songs, and a lot of things have to go right. And it's like you're climbing that mountain all the way. And then when you win it, you get up to the top and you've beaten it. You've endured the stress, the anxiety, the disappointments, and all of that just makes it all the more sweeter when it happens. People always told me it'll happen at the right time. They were right, because this felt like the exact right time. That night, I was sitting down like with my family afterwards, because I talked to so many fans and supporters and friends, and everything had been going so fast. I did the Ultimate After Dark, I did some fun stuff there. And then after that I had a moment to just sit and realize what had just happened. And that was one of the coolest moments of my life, being there with my family, that my in-laws were there, my parents are there, my wife, of course, because I know how stressful it was for each and every one of them. So it means just as much to them, or even more. And so to be there with them and to enjoy it, something I'll remember for the rest of my life. It's one of the coolest moments ever. I came back home and family kind of threw a little surprise party when I walked in the house. I had no idea about it, and my parents, my in-laws, and then brother and sisters-in-law, and they were all there. My nieces were there, and it was so cool to see the support from them, and how much they were excited for me. Because obviously I'm excited, and that means so much. But for them, it's really cool to see how much support they had and how much excitement they had. It was that was another incredible moment. It had been a week of a lot of cool moments for me, and a week that I'll remember for the rest of my life. And now, I'm the 2025 Ultimate Elvis Tribute Artist Champion. I get the honor of representing Elvis Presley Enterprises for this year as their ultimate winner, and I can't wait. Next year, this upcoming year, is going to be crazy, and I'm going to see a lot of you guys all over. I just can't wait, man. I'm going to do as much as I can, soak it in. I can't believe how this series ended. When I put it together, obviously, you're hoping that this is how it's going to end, happy ending, but you have no idea. And the fact that it all just fell into place, it was just the time, and I just want to thank all of you so much for all of the support. Some of you guys have been here since day one, some of you guys have been here since Memphis, but it doesn't matter. Each and every one of you is the reason why I get to do what I do, and all the Elvis tribute artists around the world get to do what they do because of you. You are the reason why Elvis Presley's music is still going and is still bigger than ever. 48 years later, man, there's no one like Elvis. There'll never be anyone else like Elvis. But we just want to bring that to you, those memories, those feelings. And as long as you keep coming out to these shows, we're going to keep doing it forever. And I plan on doing this for as long as I physically can, because there's nothing like going on that stage, putting on the jumpsuit, and performing a tribute to Elvis Presley. It's been my dream since I was 3 years old, and it's still my dream each and every day today. Thank you. Thank you for coming on this journey with me. I can't wait to see you at a show soon. This is Jimmy Holmes, the 2025 Ultimate Elvis Tribute Artist Champion.